Welcome everyone into the sixth part of this online workshop on time management. Well, we have already done this 5 parts of this workshop. Can you believe it? Well, we have come a long way in fact, but we have to go a long way still. And this workshop, I hope all of you are fine. First of all, you and yours are fine, doing great, and managing your time well. Well. Managing your time is so very important. It's so precious. Time is precious. Time is money. Time is my everything. Time is this and time is that. We hear so much said about time from so many different people all the time. And that's why I chose this topic of time management for us to discuss and review and manage our thoughts on and bring everything regarding time management into our conscious memory. So we are going to discuss a lot more in this part of the workshop about time management. But before that, don't ever forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. First, subscribe, like, share, subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will be notified about the upcoming videos of different parts of this workshop and other workshops as well, plus any other videos that are uploaded on my channel. So please do that first, and let's see what we have in store for you in this sixth part of the workshop on time management. We have a lot said about managing time. This is how we are going to manage our time. This is what we are going to do. This is how time will help us. Things of that sort. Everything, and we have clocks and we have so many time gadgets with us. Alarm clocks, and even in our mobile phones we have stopwatches and alarms and whatnot. We have reminders about dates, and we have calendars. We have so many gadgets all related to time. And we have divided our time into first of all, say, seconds. There are 60 seconds, we say, in a minute, and then 60 minutes in an hour, and then we say there are 24 hours in a day, and 24 hours make one day, and one day 30 days make 1 month, and 365 days make a full year. So this is how we have compartmentalized time. And then of course one day, 24 hours make one day, and 7 days make 1 week, and then 30 days make 1 month, and then so on and so forth. So we have compartmentalized time, and it is for our own convenience that we have done it. When we say this man is 50 years old, he is 50 years old means he has lived 365 days 50 times. that is the definition of his age actually. And as we have compartmentalized time, so he is exactly 50 years of age on his 50th birthday. So this is how we have done it. It is for our own understanding actually. It is for our own comprehension, and it is for knowing things in a more workable manner that we have done so, that humans have done so, compartmentalizing time this way. But sometimes it happens that we say time passes so quickly. It has flown like anything. It has slipped out of our fingers like sand. And sometimes we say time is dragging. It's so very difficult to kill time. Why? The same number of seconds and minutes and hours, and still we are unable to pass it, or we say it fleets. So why? What's the reason? Because time is a relative term. It's very difficult to compartmentalize time in the real sense. We cannot compartmentalize time in the real sense. It just goes on. It goes on and on in a gyre. Well, we will discuss that also, but before that, let me discuss another thing with you people. What do you think? You must have, do an activity right now. Jot down on paper some times in your life that went fleetingly fast for you. And also jot down on paper some times in life that were so very difficult to kill. You wanted that time to pass and you thought it's not passing. It's so slow. So jot down both these things, both those incidences in your life as they happened, maybe once or twice or thrice or more than that, and jot them down and you remember them still. And then look at what you have jotted down and think of the reasons why time at that particular juncture in your life went fleetingly fast, or why time at that particular juncture in your life went too slow. Well, I'll tell you the reason. The reason is simple. For all of us, in all incidences of life, different for every one of us probably. The thing is, when you're happy and you're living through your good times, you're enjoying the treats of life, time flies by. It seems that it's passing very, very quickly. On the other hand, if you have some tension, or you are depressed, or things are not going good with you, or you are unwell or sick or unhealthy or anything of that sort, any negative thing, then time seems to pass very, very slowly. It goes very slowly. And that's why you say it's dragging. So different situations in your life make you experience time in different manners. Like I have quoted an example here, and that is, if you're with a motor mechanic or at a motor vehicles shop, even 2 hours seem like 12 years. It's so difficult to pass time. And on the other hand, a 12-year-old child that we have, that we might have, might seem to us he or she has grown up in just 2 hours. He or she has become 12 years of age in 2 hours. That reminds me of a joke as well. There were 2 people and at a train platform, and one of them asked the other one, when is so and so train coming? And he said, it will come in an hour's time. And the person said, well, an hour will pass in 5 minutes. So actually for him the hour will pass in 5 minutes because his circumstances are so, because he probably has to do something that will take an hour, and he will not know before the time for the train's arrival will come. So it depends. We laugh at it because it seems to be a light thing. An hour will pass in an hour if you are looking at the needles of the clock, but not if you are looking at the emotions and the personality of the person who is involved in saying it will pass in 5 minutes. So this is time as when it becomes a relative term for each one of us. So time, that's why you can see in front of you in the image says, theoretical knowledge about managing your time doesn't work. Theories about time, theories about how you're going to manage your time, they do not work. And what's the reason? This is the reason. Time is a relative term. Time, although we have compartmentalized for our convenience to know certain things and to measure the spans that have passed or will be passing in our lives, or what was done in that particular span in our life or will be done in the coming span, particular time span that we will have, is just for measurement. It's all for measurement. We have done it. Otherwise, it's a relative term also, and then I'll be just talking about something else as well, and we will be discussing that, and you will be involved in every discussion that is undertaken here. And now, if you want to, you can go back to what you have jotted down, and you can think about what we just discussed. So after this long discussion, what do we come to? What actually is time? How can we describe it? Does the time on the clock describe your life? Or the real time describes your life? Well, you know what? I've put an image here. Look at that image. A girl is drawing a line in soil with her fingers. And it says, commitment isn't the time you spend, it's a line you cross. Is there actually a line, a barrier that you cross or you do not cross to fulfill a commitment or to break a commitment? Well, there is. That line cannot be seen. That line cannot be touched. Yet it exists. And it makes and breaks your personality, your life. Commitment is something that should be honored, that should not be broken. Because there is a very thin line between honoring commitment and breaking commitment. And that line is intangible. That line cannot be touched. That line cannot be seen. Yet it exists. Similarly, time, as it flees by real time, its compartments cannot be seen. They are intangible. It's a gyre of time that's moving on, you know. And past, present and future, they are relative terms when taken with each other, in context of each other. Because whatever has been has some effect on your present and will have some effect on your future as well. So it's all interlinked. Everything that's happening within that fleeting time, the real time, is actually having its impact upon you and will have its impact upon you in future as well. So time cannot be compartmentalized. It cannot be put into watertight compartments. What has been, what is, and what will be, will be. No, it's impossible. What has been has some effect on what is. And what has been and what is now will have some effect on what will be. So real time actually doesn't allow us the space to demarcate time or to put time in watertight compartments. No, it does not. And life goes on in real time, not in clock time. Although we need these gadgets and we take help from them, we have invented them, we take help from them to plan our things and our future lives as well, to do certain projects within certain time frames, and because of that time management becomes important. But still our actual life is moving on in real time, not in clock time. And for any of you who has some interest in reading poetry or prose, even in reading literature, and if you know of T.S. Eliot, anybody heard of it, you must be knowing that T.S. Eliot has given us that concept of time that it goes on in a gyre, and it just goes on and on and on, fleeting like water, and cannot be compartmentalized. And that was, when I first read about it, it was a very interesting and new concept for me, and it provoked me to think about time. And then I came to a conclusion that yes, T.S. Eliot is right. Time is actually something we can put into watertight compartments. So these systems, these gadgets that we have developed over centuries for time management, they do not work because they cannot manage or control our real-time life. Everything that has been or is or will be cannot be controlled by an alarm clock or by a stopwatch. No, it cannot be. That's why clock time becomes irrelevant. You just are not living in clock time. You're living in real time. And then to make things a bit simple for you now, time is something that flies when you are happy or on your fun days, and time is something that drags on your boring days or when you're feeling down. And that's why time cannot be compartmentalized, and time is a relevant term. It becomes a relevant term for each and every one of us. Okay, so understanding time that way, first of all, discussing about it that way opens up new windows of thought about time, but at the same time it tells us that managing time within those compartments, artificial compartments that we have organized for us in order to understand time better, or to plan things according to those hours and minutes, and according to those months and years, plan our lives accordingly, is very important. So that's why we are talking about time management. Emmanuel James Rohn, or Jim Rohn as he was normally publicly known as, said the worst days of those who enjoy what they do are better than the best days of those who don't. Well, very nice words, very simple logic, and it's very, very true, because people who enjoy doing what they are doing, it becomes very easy for them, and it becomes really, it makes them happy. They are happy people actually, because self-actualization comes to them more quickly, and also because they enjoy what they are doing, the job doesn't remain only a job for them. It becomes fun time for them that is really helpful for them to be more productive. So, and those on the other hand, those who don't enjoy their work, for them it becomes very, very burdensome. Such a heavy burden that you can see in the image that I've put up here. An office worker is sitting with a computer in front of him and some papers in his hand, and his foot is tied with a burden, with an iron wall and a chain, and he cannot move from his table because of that. So it has become a burden for him. And he is saying to his colleague, the boss said it was a new ergonomic time management tool. Well, is it a time management tool? Is it really a time management tool? Would you people as bosses like to put these iron balls in the feet of your subordinates or employees? Or would you people as office workers or as workers like to be tied that way? No. Because if you're tied that way, if your freedom is taken away from you, if you are not able to move according to your own wish, and you think that it has become a burden on you, the job that you are doing, then what happens? You stop enjoying even what you like doing. So when you stop enjoying your work, you don't remain as productive and as good at it as you were in the past. So it's not a time management tool. It's a tool that crushes your mind. So it kills you. It's a killing tool. It's not a time management tool. So never, ever in your life give your subordinates or your colleagues such a heavy burden that it becomes too difficult for them to handle. Never do that. Because imagine yourself in the same position, and what will happen if somebody else did it to you. So for managing other people's time, make them feel relaxed. Give them clear ideas and precise communication about what is expected of them. Give them clear timelines and take them into confidence about what project they are working on, what will be the end result of it. Let them work with clear directions, and that will, whatever they are doing, your project will not become a burden for them then. They will enjoy doing it, or at least they will manage their time properly if you help them that way. On the other hand, if you make them a burden for them, they will not give you results. They will not enjoy what they are doing. And whatever output they give will not be up to the mark. So try to manage other people's time well, try to manage your time well. I think this is enough for the day, and you have listened to me for this long, and we have discussed a lot many things. Do think about it, do revise it in your minds, and let's see what you really think, how your thinking is modified then, what new thoughts come to you about time management after our discussion in the 6th part of this workshop. Now quickly like, share and subscribe and click the bell icon. Do take care of yourselves and stay happy and manage your time well. Cheers.